With Disney's Wish finally out on streaming, I can do an in-depth breakdown of everything that went wrong. Let's get started. We open with King Magnifico's backstory. I do like the overall theme that wishes are more than just your desires, that they are part of your identity and drive your character. Too bad that's going to be wasted. Also too bad that Magnifico's dream was destroyed and we don't really learn anything more about him. Magnifico founded the Kingdom of Rosas and welcomed people from all nations. You'll notice the watercolored backgrounds. Honestly, I'm unimpressed with how Disney handled the watercoloring of this movie. It just looks like a filter. And this filter effect inadvertently makes the whole movie look cheap. Then we meet Asha. Oh boy, she's the Disney quirky princess you expect from the 2010s. Unlike Princess Anna, who had to deal with the emotional issues with her relationship with Elsa, or Rapunzel, who lived in social isolation from, being kidnapped. Asha is written like this because that's what the guys in suits said would appeal to the masses. Anyways, Asha is getting ready for her interview to be the Sorcerer King's apprentice. Oh, and she has a bunch of friends based off the Seven Dwarves. More on them later. I'm not fond of them. Queen Amaya arrives and says King Magnifico is ready for her. Turns out the last interviewee ended up crying his eyes out because it was a disaster. This is actually funny because I've actually seen this happen in real life. Asha is led to King Magnifico. Naturally, we get our Chekhov's gun in the form of the Book of Forbidden Magic. And like Patrick, she tries to touch it. And basically, Magnifico created a bunch of bugs of light enchantments on the glass after Magnifico disperses them. Asha attempts to continue swatting, even making the sound effects with her mouth. Again, this character can work if you added substance to her like the aforementioned Anna and Rapunzel. We've seen this character archetype done well in years past. Seeing it reduced to the basest components is just a disappointment. Asha's interview is awkward as you expect with the quirky girl personality. She actually shows Magnifico an animation of Valentino. This scene slows down when Magnifico starts talking about Asha's father. Apparently, he's dead, but the fact that Magnifico remembers some random peasant philosopher proves that he does like his people. And it's also slow moments like this where I wish this was in a better movie, because there's a lot of good human elements in this. Magnifico bonds over the loss he experienced. He didn't know magic then. Magnifico founded Rosas for the sake of making people safe. You see, this is the part where I absolutely disagree with the direction of the movie. The movie should have made Magnifico a tragic villain who lost his family and became a control freak because of it. Magnifico shows Asha the wishes of Rosa. We hammer in the point that the theme of this movie is that wishes are part of your heart rather than something you simply desire. Then we get into the next song, At All Cost. I talked about this before, but I absolutely hate this song because the demo version exists. The context in the movie is Magnifico and Asha are singing about the wishes. The intention of the song is to show how important wishes are and the measure the two are going to go to protect them. The problem here is that they're adapting it from a love song. When Magnifico sings Protect You as One Does, the original line was Love You as One Does. Asha was originally going to let out a small wow and then start singing. Perhaps the animators and writers realize how this is clearly a love song, and that's why Asha and Magnifico sing it with their backs turned to each other, not to have any shippers for the angel devil hero villain bit, because that would just be creepy. Magnifico is asked by Asha to grant her grandfather's wish. Magnifico rejects because the grandpa's wish is to inspire the next generation, and it's deemed by Magnifico to be too vague and even rattles off some paranoia about inspiring the next generation to rebel against his rule. You see, it's moments like these that annoy me because Magnifico can be a tragic villain if written properly. Magnifico lost everything when he was young. He could simply want control because he never got to move past his dream getting crushed by others. Asha says Gramps wouldn't do that, but Magnifico says she doesn't know that and dismisses her. Asha wonders why Magnifico can't just give the wishes back, but Magnifico goes full control freak. Asha is obviously broken by the fact that her mom and her grandpa's wishes won't get granted. This wish is the next song, and it's the I Want song, and it utterly fails at being an I Want song. She just simply goes, I want something more for us than this. Lady, just say you want the wishes to be returned to their rightful owners. We establish that wishes are part of people. Give us something more than vague niceties. Say that you want to help people make their wishes come true. No wonder everyone hates the music of this movie. It's like it was written on a time crunch without the songwriters knowing the actual plot of the movie. There are even word salad lyrics like throw caution to every warning sign. Then the star arrives. Everyone feels happy. Magnifico feels threatened by the wishing star. We get some antics with the wishing star. Valentino gains the ability to talk and gets to be annoying for the rest of the movie. I'm skipping You're a Star because it just is grating. Except for the part that says, when it comes to the universe, we're all shareholders. Head in desk. After explaining the situation, the star tells Asha, well, silently at least, to simply steal back the wishes of Rosas. I would say if this movie turned into an Ocean's 11 style heist, it would be so much better. At least it would give the seven dorks a reason to exist. Magnifico is losing his mind over the power the star wields, so desperate he wants to use forbidden magic, though Amaya talks him out of it by saying just appeal to the people of Rosas to find the traitor. Asha is sneaking around Rosas, trying not to draw suspicion, only to do exactly that. Then we see the seven dolts and have them pull off the heist on Magnifico's study. We learn that magic is forbidden by anyone other than Magnifico. Dahlia at the town hall causes panic by furthering Magnifico's paranoia, and Magnifico takes it well. Slamming the door to your castle and then singing a poppy villain song is totally a good way to cope. This is the thanks I get is a poppy villain song done wrong. King George III and Hamilton had a poppy villain song called You'll Be Back, but the lyrical dissonance between the upbeat song and the nutcase stalker lyrics helped it be a villain song. However, it is not the case here. He's just going full vain sorcerer. Then he goes full lunatic. He does figure out Asha has the star and barges into her home, and after destroying Asha's mother's wish, her mother falls over in pain from having it destroyed. Asha and her family escape. Asha decides to head towards Rosas, having to own up to the fact that she did summon the star, and this is sort of her fault, while her grandfather and mother head out of Rosas. Magnifico forges his staff of forbidden magic. Then he uses the staff as a mirror. Amaya is notably horrified at this. And I have to say, I'm not impressed by that staff at all. This staff radiates power. This staff radiates power. All these staffs radiate power. I swear I'm not sponsored by Artix Entertainment or anything. Even Donald Duck in Kingdom Hearts has better staffs. I mean, look at these. This is just unimpressive. Personally, I would have shortened the staff into a scepter and then they could have just taken inspiration from medieval maces. Naturally, he immediately turns on his wife. If you think she turncoats, yes. Simon, the oldest of the seven dorks, decides to betray them. Personally, I would have called him Judas, but whatever. And gets his wish granted, albeit in a corrupted fashion. Stupid song where she rallies her friends. Queen Amaya joins. Magnifico mentions Neverland, Mary Poppins, and true love before destroying the wishes for power. Asha gets a magic wand from a star. Asha's friends go on to free the wishes. Meanwhile, Queen Amaya hopes to break Magnifico's staff because she wants to free her husband. She hasn't gone he's a lost cause yet. But embracing forbidden magic means that you're bound to it for eternity. If you think Amaya has any conflict, nope. It's just, yeah, he's doomed. Let's go on. That's just sad. Magnifico is in pursuit of Asha. Magnifico makes it to Asha. Magnifico is revealed to be Simon under an illusion spell. Magnifico is about to drain the wishes of Rosas because they sorta played into his trap. Within this containment field of wishes is the star. Magnifico and Asha eventually scuffle over the staff amid the absorbed wishes. Magnifico intends to blot out the skies using his new power so that nobody can wish on a star. However, the people Magnifico bound will not be bound for long. Yes, he bound them because he wanted to enslave them because he's a control freak and all that. Yes, they sing the stupid I Want song, including the throw caution to every warning sign. Seriously, that just kills any dramatic tension this scene could have had. I'm getting flashbacks to that stupid Malo Myotismon defeat by the wishes of children in Digimon Adventure 02. This is even less stupid, because at least that was visually more stimulating. The wishes and Star are freed. Magnifico is absorbed into the staff and becomes the magic mirror from Snow White. Simon makes peace with everyone. Amaya becomes the sole ruler of Rosas. Valentino founds Zootopia. Seriously. The Star fixes Asha's wand. Asha becomes the fairy godmother. The end. Wish is not the worst Disney has to offer, far from it. However, it is such a disappointment for an anniversary film for Disney's 100th year that it falls into the realm of bad. Let's start where the film fails first, the theme. Wishes are part of your identity. They are not something that Magnifico can simply commodify and hoard. However, we never really know the people of Rosas all that well, at all. We see glancing shots from them and through their wishes in these glowing orbs, but when the combined wishes of the people end up defeating Magnifico, it rings hollow because they are just background paints for the entire movie. If Asha was going around with the Star and Valentino to grant the wishes of the people of Rosas for the entire movie, then it would make this climax feel so much more meaningful. We see lip service to that idea at the end after Magnifico is defeated. Speaking of Magnifico, Magnifico has a really good backstory for a villain, a man who lost everything as a child. His desire for control stems from the trauma at him not being in control. Belief in his own righteousness, desire for control, paranoia, these are all great villainous traits, and great tragic hero traits. Too bad any sympathies we have for the man are thrown out because he indulged in forbidden magic, thus he turned into a completely different character. I'm serious, this man wants to be written like a traditional Disney villain, but at the same time, they write him as if he's a twist villain. You have one character at the beginning, and then they go full megalomania at the end. Instead of having a really comical scene of him being locked in a dungeon, why not just have him be jaded and cynical, saying that Rosas will collapse from the rotten wishes Asha allowed to be released, at least playing lip service to the idea of a fallen hero. Then again, a weak villain needs a weak hero. Asha. I already went through her issues with her being the quirky princess earlier in the video, but that can be excused if she had someone to bounce off of. All she really has are a talking goat comic relief and a star who doesn't talk at all. She really has no one to bounce off. But what about her friends? What about them? You don't get much out of them. Yes, they're a nice reference to the Seven Dwarfs, but they don't really have the fun interactions that come with the antics of the Seven Dwarfs because they are rarely ever the focus of anything, and that just makes them boring and superfluous. If only there was a character that was originally going to be a romantic lead that Asha could talk and interact with more. There's this concept in psychology that I forget where we sort of overestimate the effects of people's character traits and then underestimate the effects that scenarios have in how they react to a situation. And Asha was really deprived of character interaction scenarios. The characters are boring, the animation is nothing to write home about, and the music is just plain awful. Generic, corporate, soulless. 3 words that perfectly describe this entire movie. That's it for this video. Please consider liking, subscribing, tipping the channel on Ko-fi. This is Cyril signing off.